Hmm. Are you guys ready for action? Are you ready for deliberation? All right, guys. So this is just a casual Sunday stream. Thought we would do some reviews, some quick little movie reviews that I'll chop out and put up on the channel separately later on. The weekend numbers have just quickly come in, and we're going to cover this a lot more tomorrow on tomorrow's movie news show. But because we'll break down the box office numbers a little bit. But The Flash was projected to make at least 60 million, and it hasn't made that. 55.1. Not good. Elemental 29.5. Also not good. The Blackening 6 million. Didn't even crack the top 5. So other than that, I thought maybe Spider-Man. Oh my God. Transformers dropped all the way down to the 4th spot, 67%. Oh, that's terrible, guys. I'll break this down a lot more tomorrow. I just wanted to see the early numbers for the Flash. Okay, let's take a look at that. 64 domestically, 139 worldwide, and that's not good. And we're going to review the Flash here in just a minute. Huh. Okay. I need to pull up the Flash budget. And I need to pull up Elemental budget. Elemental's budget was 200 million. What? How? How was Elemental's budget $200 million? It's an animated movie. Animated. Mario was only 100 million. I'll have to do my research for this tomorrow when we're breaking down the movie news stuff. All right. Bifer there says in the live chat, hey, Elemental was a retelling of Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. Oh, yeah, it was a little bit. Elemental took 7 years to make, did it? 7 years? Why is that? Why did that take 7 years to make? All right, let's just get into some of these reviews. All right, I'll cut this out and put this up on the channel later. I just got out of Elemental, guys, and I gotta tell you, my initial thoughts were that it was surprisingly good. I'm just like shocked that I liked a Pixar movie like I liked Elemental. Really? The reviews going into it were kind of like meh. I was just kind of like, okay, it was just going to be another kids movie, but it surprisingly blew me out of the water. It was just kind of like, what? It had some heart to it, some really, really serious heart to it. And I was like, halfway through the film, I was like, I'm really enjoying this. I'm sucked in. This has got me fully like enthralled with what's going on with the story. The synopsis reads, follows Ember and Wade in a city where fire and water, land and air residents live together. But yeah, of course, they end up having to fall in love with each other and stuff like that, and they're like opposites and stuff like that. But this is not the movie I was expecting. Because I'll tell you this, the trailers for this movie really did not do it any justice. They were really trying to promote the whole elemental theme, like, ooh, there's 4 elements that all live in the city, and they just shouldn't have gone with this road. Like, because the trailers made me go, meh, I don't really want to see this. This looks kind of hokey, actually, kind of, to tell you the truth. So I went to see this with my niece, just to let you know. So I might be a little bit, not even when it's not a good movie, because I went to see Lightyear with her, and it was kind of like, I came out of that and I was like, no, the pacing was terrible. But the pacing in this was really good, surprisingly good, and it did a great job in world building. establishing this world that they're in, and it's fantastical, like the background city and stuff like that, and it's like something out of like a Final Fantasy game or something, like Xanarkand or something. But it was just like, that was cool. I enjoyed it. And then of course, yeah, it's like the heartbreak of he's water and she's fire, and it's mostly about her dealing with her temper, trying to be what her family wants her to be and stuff, like taking over her father's shop and stuff like that, but she's got more aspirations and stuff. That's the stuff that drew me in. And then, of course, yeah, too, there was a nice little romantic story between the two of them. And it's like, well, they can't touch each other because he'll put her out because he's water, and she'll make him evaporate but they end up finding a way to do it, and man, it works. I had a huge smile on my face, and I was just like, holy my God. You know, I saw 3 movies in the last 2 days. I saw The Flash, I saw Extraction 2, and I saw Elemental. And all 3 of those movies delivered, man. All 3 of these movies delivered. So, as an adult, I got to tell you this, that this is one of those movies where it's kind of like, you're not going to be rolling your eyes at all the kiddie stuff that happens in it. Like, you won't be like, oh God, just get to the more adult theme jokes that go over the... No, it's not like that. It's not like that at all. I was fairly impressed, and the voice acting in this was really good. The music in Elemental was really good. I was just like, there's one tune that goes throughout it, and I thought it was fantastic. So, Ember was played by Leah Lewis. I don't know who that is. I want to take a look at her resume. Mamadou Achi did Wade, and you were barely unrecognizable. I couldn't recognize his voice at all, because if you know this channel, you know that I saw Archive 81 on Netflix, which he was a big part of, and he was in like Jurassic World. He was in the Jurassic World movies, wasn't he? Mamadou Achi. Let's pull up his resume as well. Catherine O'Hara was Brooke. Is that the mother? Catherine O'Hara? Cinder? That's the families. Okay, nobody else really jumps off the page at me there. But yeah, the voice acting from Leah Lewis, who played Ember, was fantastic. I don't recognize her, so let's see what else she was in. Nancy Drew, Cupcakes, Bad Wheels. So she's done some voice work before, it looks like. She's also done some live action acting, it looks like. Not too much stuff there, but she did a really good job in Matlock, Tiger's Apprentice, Eternal Buzz. So it's a resume that I'm not too familiar with, but I would say that she did a fantastic job. Yeah, because as I said, there's that angle where it's like she's dealing with her temper and stuff like that, and she tends to get all fired up. Well, she's fire, right? So it's kind of like, that's what you get. And then Mamadou Achi plays Wade. He plays the guy. Yeah. He was in Jurassic World and stuff. Circle, we were going to do Underwater Watch Along here on the channel, but people didn't vote for it. And I want to watch Underwater again. Kirsten Stewart, 2020. He was in he wasn't in Bird Box, Black Box. Good actor though, very good. Yeah, Archive 81. And that's a season, it only had 1 season, but man, Elemental, guys, really good. I was surprisingly charmed by it. I would say put this on your radar if you haven't gone out to see it, because by the end, it's got some very charming sequences in it that just makes you go, wow. I was not expecting this to be this good. And that's exactly what you're going to get from Elemental, at least in my understanding. Yeah, it goes and plays with that same trope that the parents won't like her dating somebody who's water and stuff like that, but that's only like a minor part of it. You're more involved with him and her, and it's mostly just about her, which I thought was really cool. So let's go over to the tomato meter and see what people are saying about this movie. 76 by the critics, 91 by the audience. That's good, because the audience, they need to come out of this out of the theater championing this just the way that I did, so that it gets some good word of mouth. It needs to build on its opening weekend numbers, because this is going to be one where it's like, yeah, guys, this is not your typical fare that it's like, oh, it's a passable kids movie. No, this one has actually got some really cool stuff going for it. Richard Roper says Elemental's story of Earth, Wind, Fire, and Water isn't top tier Pixar, but its screen popping visuals carry the day. Well, I wouldn't say, I don't know a lot of the other Pixar stuff, guys. It's not because I don't watch a lot of kids movies. So, yeah. I was taken by the imaginative ways the animation explores societal inequities. And okay, let's talk about that briefly, because there's going to be some people out there that'll be saying like, I don't want any social justice or any kind of social commentary shoved down my throat going to these movies. No, it's not like that at all. Like, yeah, it is a metaphor that people, two opposites, can come together and find love and stuff like that, and dealing with the tropes that the parents won't like the person that they bring home for dinner and stuff like that. Yeah, but it's not so much in your face. As I said, the story's more about her, and I like that. So don't worry about that if you're into like hating and stuff like that. Oh, yeah, there is that crowd out there that are. But Elemental was a surprise for me, guys. I really had lots of fun with this, and yeah, I'm not as high as the audience, and I can't give it a 9 out of 10, but I'm actually higher than the tomato meter by the critics. I gotta say that Elemental is probably going to be an 8 out of 10 for Elemental, and I was just like, by the end of it, as I said, I was just, wow. And there's just some really cool payoffs, because they spent the proper amount of time setting certain things up and not drawing those setups out for a long period of time. They let us be smart enough to figure out some certain things, right? And that's what I liked about Elementals. 8 out of 10. Okay. While the credits were rolling, I decided to Shazam the song that they played in it, and I think I'm going to add it to my catalog because it was that good. So the song was called Steal the Show from Elemental. Love, is that his name there? Love? Sorry if you guys can't see that. Steal the Show. Yeah, that good song. So soundtrack was good. All right, guys. What did you guys think of Elemental? Let me know what you thought about it in the comments below, and we will talk about it. Come join us on Monday for our movie news show at 11 a.m., and we will be talking about the box office breakdown for Elemental. It came in second place under The Flash, but did it make a big enough splash at the box office? Yeah, we'll talk about that. Come join us on Mirror Domains for sure, because we talk about movies and everything like that. Hope you enjoy it, and yeah. See you next time on Mirror Domains. All right, let's take some live comments here before we move on to the next review, which is going to be The Flash. Bifer says, I saw 7 movies in the past 3 days. Elemental far worse than Turning Red. What? Turning Red is another movie? Okay. Earth Elemental got snubbed. Yeah, the other elements totally like Earth. What was Earth? Was that supposed to, were the plants supposed to be representative of Earth? Obviously the clouds were air. But they built a nice, interesting little world where more stories could take place. And if you're, yeah, the Earth, you think they would have been able to stop the water flow by just building up dirt, right? But as I said, that's just minor stuff. It's mostly about Ember, and I was just really enchanted with that story, man. Really enchanted. Okay, now, knowing that what we know, Elemental made worldwide $48.3 million with a $200 million budget. It's going to be a bomb. And I'm hoping that it's going to have enough staying power that, because next week only Asteroid City and the new comedy with Jennifer Lawrence come out. And those are more both adult themed movies. Like the kids aren't going to be interested to see Asteroid City or the rated R comedy. So I think Elemental has got some, both Elemental and The Flash will have a little bit of grace period. We'll have like a 1 week grace period to hopefully accrue a little bit more money. Like the drop off shouldn't be as steady. Because I don't think Asteroid City is going to make over 30 million. I don't think the new Jennifer Lawrence comedy, raunchy comedy, is going to make over 30 million. They'll make 15 to 20 million, I think. I wouldn't. Yeah, it's just, man, Elemental. When I saw this number, my jaw was on the, like, what? Elemental cost $20 million? 200 million, sorry. We'll break this down tomorrow. Flash had a projected 220. Yeah. Guys, that's what I meant earlier, where they've really got to fix Hollywood budgets. Like, that's grotesque. It's vomitous that those budgets are that high. All right, let me just fix my posters and we'll get into talking about The Flash. James turning red to Grumpy Man watch party. Maybe. I forgot to put out the Grumpy Man poll. So we might not do a Grumpy Man on Tuesday. We might get moved to Thursday. Did you like the short movie before Elemental? I never watched Up, so I didn't have stake in it. I had a hot dog and I accidentally dropped some mustard on my shirt while I was eating that hot dog. And I had to get up and go get it cleaned off. So I missed the end of it. Maybe I'll add Up to the Grumpy Man Reacts. Okay, so that's a good call, though. I need to put up that poll. I thought I took down some recommendations from Hourglass. He wanted me to put up a couple as well, right? Finding Nemo, an Iron Giant, right? He wanted me Finding Nemo, an Iron Giant. Maybe I'll do Finding Nemo, Iron Giant, and Turning Red. All right, where's my pen? Come on, where's my pen? All right, and Turning Red. And then we'll try to do that for Thursday this week. No, I can't do it Thursday. Thursday, or maybe I could get it done before Thursday. Yeah. What is the runtime for Turning Red? What is the runtime? The runtime for Turning Red is 4 hours and 50 minutes. No, that's not right. Come on. An hour and 40 minutes? Yeah, that's possible. That's possible. All right. Okay. Good. Good. Excellent. This will be cut out and put up later, as I said. Series info. I don't want the series. Flash. Okay. Let's do this. The Flash is out in theaters right now, guys, and did you go out and see it? Here's my initial impression of the movie. I thought it was pretty good, man. I really enjoyed this. My straight out of the theater reaction is up on the channel right now, and I said I love seeing Michael Keaton back in this, and surprisingly, Ezra Miller thought that they did a good job, but for me, the standout was Sasha Kali, the Supergirl, the new Supergirl. I thought she was absolutely fantastic in this. I had my doubts, but she won me over, man, and I want to see a lot more from her in the future. I would be totally fine seeing a side project with her as Supergirl because she was amazing. Now, the IMDb says that the synopsis reads, Barry Allen uses his super speed to change the past, but his attempt to save his family creates a world without superheroes, forcing him to race for his life in order to save the future. Now, this movie, despite me liking it, despite me saying that it had a lot of good points, it's also got its fair share of questionable points. The cameos in this were awesome. It made me go, wow, holy, I can't believe what we're seeing here. Like, it was just shades of, if you like Spider-Man No Way Home and those cameos and everything that came up in that, then you will probably like The Flash for the same reasons. It's just because some of the, well, I guess they weren't cameos in No Way Home, but these were more cameos on the short side of cameos, like, oh God, they're just like, it was like, oh my God, it was cool. But they were contrasted by some incredibly weak visual effects. Like really, really weak visual effects. It's kind of hard to describe how bad. Cartoony visual effects. And I am puzzled by this because they delayed this movie for so long. They had a whole bunch of time to refine these visual effects. And it opens up with this long sequence of him trying to save a hospital. And there's like things floating down from the sky. And they look, it's like a cartoon, man. Like it's like, it's shocking here in 2023 that we would see that quality of visual effects. This is like Scorpion King level of visual effects. And I was like, this is your opening sequence? This is something that's supposed to launch the film and impress me? No. I was able to look past that, though. I said, that was garbage. But what kept me going in the opening sequence was that it was basically Justice League 3.0. That's pretty much what it was. You got Batfleck back. You got Jeremy Irons as Alfred back. Of course, you heard that there's other cameos in there too from the Justice League as well. So it's kind of like, yeah, I just love seeing all of it. It's like, you guys can continue this. You should be continuing the Snyderverse in some capacity because all of those people have so much good chemistry together. It's just like, thank you for at least giving us the first 20, 30 minutes of the old Snyderverse like that, right? That's what I felt like. It was like, that was so cool. And then to know that, hey, later on in just a few moments, this movie's going to transform a little bit and we're going to see Michael Keaton back as Batman. So it's got so many good things going for it, as I said. But it has some lulls in the story where we take a little bit of time to develop some of the character moments. And those lulls, I think, well, they kind of hamper the movie. They kind of slow down the pacing of it. So if somebody said that the visual effects are terrible, that there's problems with the pacing, that's fine. But for the most part, you're not going to be complaining about the acting. You're not going to be complaining about like when the action is happening. The action is good. It's just a few of those visual effects. It's just kind of like, yeah, I don't know what they're doing with that. I could understand when he's breaking time or going through time, and some of the characters' faces would look cartoonish because they're phasing in and out from other universes and stuff, right? That I could understand, but for like the opening sequence, that was a little bit weak. How did Ezra do doing dual roles? He did fantastic. I thought he was that stuff was really cool. And the emotional backbone of the movie was that he lost his mother, right? And that he wanted to try to go back and try to save her. And like that worked. It just got a little bit too long getting to that and establishing that. But of course, he was having, like, Andy Muschietti, the director, was having fun, probably just playing with the last remnants of the Snyderverse. Could have cut down a lot in that baby Look, that sequence in the beginning, I would have cut a lot of that stuff out. Save that for like the post-credit scene where you not, or like the credit scene. Save it for that. Whew. But yeah, the emotional backbone with the mother stuff, that worked for me. And once you realize, like, we knew that Zod was going to be in this. And we knew that I felt like Zod wasn't going to be the main bad guy, that it was going to be some kind of evil Flash. And how that got all explained really worked for me. So the villains worked for me. And we heard the quote from Michael Shannon earlier in the week that he felt like this version of Zod was kind of like, didn't really have that much emotional impact. I could understand that now, thinking about this after it, but he did, like, Zod wasn't supposed to be the big bad guy in this one, right? It was more his inner turmoil, dealing with the loss of his mother, trying to fix it. And then he gets stuck in that kind of alternate timeline where there is that Batman. And I liked all the stuff, the time explanation, how they explained how, there's different Batman and stuff like that. And time isn't like, there's cross sections of it, but if you change the future, you don't like I love all of that stuff. That stuff really works for me, right? Michael Keaton in this one too. Oh my God, so many sequences in that put a smile on my face. Then seeing Batfleck here in the beginning, yeah, this is all the beginning stuff. But Sasha Calle, oh my God, yeah, she did an absolutely amazing job. And I was somebody who wanted to see the blonde Supergirl. She changed my mind, man. She changed my mind. I'm fine with this version of Supergirl. Yeah, I want to see more of her. And we know that we're going to get more Supergirl in James Gunn's universe, right? And are we going to see more Flash? I thought that this was supposed to be kind of like the passing of the torch, right? I thought this was going to be the end, the proper closing of the Snyderverse and setting up the new DCU. That's what I thought. So I was expecting post-credit scenes to come in and sort of fill in some of those gaps or set the stage. I thought maybe we would see another Flash come in. Oh, sorry, I guess I'm starting to get a little spoilerish. Like somebody else coming in to play Flash. This is not really spoiling anything. Because I guess that wouldn't do any service to the movie. That's not what this movie's about. It wasn't really kind of like the setup for the next chapter. It wasn't. Which is fine. Because I like this movie. I liked it a lot. As I said, could there have been some stuff cut out? Yeah. I don't know how well it's going to be playing on repeat viewings, but I had lots of fun with The Flash. Let's go over to the tomato meter and see what people are saying. 67 by the critics, 86 by the audience. Yeah. No, I'm not as low as the critics. It's not a 6.7 out of 10. What did the snapshot reviews reveal? Let's see if we agree with some of them. From the Observer UK, it's efficient, pacey, and largely enjoyable stuff. Okay. Let's see what else is going on here. Wall Street Journal says, unfortunately, the best aspects of the film are drowned out by a sea of middle school humor, silly plot twists, and weak acting. And weak acting? What? Especially by Ezra Miller in the title role. No, man. I thought they did a good job. Maybe it's because I'm a mama's boy or something. I related to, that having to let go. That was the backbone. I was like, if the Flash was the first the first movie out to start the DCU, I would be happy with that. I would be totally happy with this result. And it didn't shove down multiverse stuff down your throat. Kind of like, well, if this person dies, then we're going to see him again. Don't worry about that. No. From what I got out of this is that some things are concrete enough that we won't see some of these people again. And maybe that's what they were kind of meaning, that this will close off the Snyderverse. But if that's the case, then we may not be able to see more of this Supergirl then. Right? Maybe, I don't know. Yeah. And the way he makes his secondary costume there, That was really cool too. I like that. I like that. And the Batwing in this one. There was a couple times where I was like, it can do that? It can do that? Wow. Yeah, there's going to be a couple times in this where hopefully you'll be like, I wasn't expecting that to happen. That was really cool. Sasha Coley, wow. She really impressed me. She really did. I want that poster. The Flash, guys, as I said, I don't think I would give it quite as low as the critics, but I can't give it as high as the audience. I can't give it an 8.5 out of 10. I would probably have to end up somewhere along the lines of giving the Flash a 7.5. 7.5. That's where I feel. 7.5 out of 10 for the Flash. It was good, man. It was really enjoyable. It's not as good as, say, like The Dark Knight, but compared to, like, well, I think I even prefer this over Zack Snyder's Justice League. Yeah. Huh. How about that? It's not anywhere near as good as like Joker or anything like that. But it's just, I thought it was a really pleasant surprise, man, and I had lots of fun with it. So let me know what you guys thought about it in the comments below, and we will talk about it. Hit that thumbs up button, guys. Subscribe. Stick around for some spoiler discussion here in just a few moments. If not, I'll see you next time on Your Domains. All right, let's talk some spoilers. So that baby sequence, that should have been cut. Oh my God, Jesus. Okay, show that the babies are falling, and we know that he's going to pick them all up. But my God, those babies looked absolutely atrocious. I was just like, how did this pass? And you had so much extra time to go in and retool this and make it look better. Like, that was shocking. It was just, my God, those are some very, very awful. Like as I said, the comparison to the Scorpion King in Mummy 2 is like that's how awful it looked, man. Let's pull up the Scorpion King here. Like that, this was what, 2000? When did the Scorpion King? 2001, and now we're in 2023, and we're getting visual effects that look like this. Like, that's what it looked like, guys. Cartoony, and that's sort of like all the other cameos. They look like that too, and that's 20-year-old technology that you're being on par with here in 2023. Like, no, sorry guys, that's not good enough. Not good enough. Byford says, I got goosebumps when Batman said, "You want to get nuts?" Yeah, that was really cool too, and I loved all the nods in there to his version of Alfred and stuff like that. There was like there was like a pendant or something, wasn't there, from like his version of Alfred? I thought that was really just heartbreaking. Because yeah, his version of Alfred would have passed on, right? He was an old man. Batfleck was really cool. I was just like, oh my God. And Alfred too, with Jeremy Irons is a great Alfred. To know that we're not going to get them anymore, it just breaks my heart. Because dial down the budget, man. Dial down the budget and just let these actors do what they do, which is sell the movie and with their skills to you. You don't have to rely on visual effects that can be dicey to sell the movie. And the Wonder Woman cameo. That's a proper cameo, right? And that worked for me as well. Gal Gadot. So will that should be the final time we see her then, right? I don't know why they couldn't have shown the Henry Cavill cameo, because when we see Superman fighting the volcano or whatever, You just see the backside of him. Just show his face. What's wrong with him showing? Is it because you don't want to pay him money? I tell you this. This solidifies for me more than anything. Someone at the studios doesn't like Henry Cavill. And they can just say that we want to go in a different direction all they want. But for me, now I totally understand. There's somebody in that studio, in those executives, they don't like to work with Henry Cavill. And I don't know if it's reports because when he's on set, he's hard to work with or something. I don't believe that. Although you sort of heard reports on The Witcher and stuff that, he's always there looking at details, saying that, no, this isn't how this person would work. This isn't how that would be. He's just trying to be respectful to the character. So for me, I don't want to take that as a negative thing. But you just kind of get like, why would you cut out Henry Cavill's cameo in that? Why would you do that? Eric Stoltz references to the Back to the Future. Yeah, if you didn't know that Eric Stoltz was supposed to be, he shot a lot of the original Back to the Future movie before he got replaced. And there's like there's footage out there of him as Marty McFly. There's Eric Stoltz right there. Yeah, he shot a lot of the stuff, and they went back and reshot those scenes. So yeah, in an alternate universe, in an alternate reality, I thought that was cool to show that just for some inside baseball stuff there, as for us movie fans, that yeah, Eric Stoltz at one point was Marty McFly, and that's a cut that we will never see. We will never see that cut come out. It'd be cool to see though. That would be interesting to see. Byford says, "I need food," but subplot went away after the baby falling scene. Yeah. Well, no, the other Barry, he was always searching for food too. I didn't like the fact that he lost his powers though. They could have just skipped that part. When the other Barry got his powers and then his powers go away. That, like, you could cut, just get rid of that. Just say he's always got his powers. That didn't affect him. And that would have tightened up the movie a little bit too, because it didn't really add that much, right? It didn't take like him losing his powers and saying, oh, okay, I got to be a superhero without my powers. They didn't make that point. So that part became a little bit unnecessary. But there was so much other cool stuff because he was talking with Batman and stuff like that. I thought it was great. And then him dealing with Kara, also fantastic stuff. Really fantastic. What was some other stuff? So, okay, so when he's running fast and let me see if I can pull up a screenshot of that flash. Let's see if I can pull up an image of if somebody's got like a really crappy B-roll of him running in that time bubble. I'm not seeing it. So basically he runs really fast and he encapsulates time around him and stuff like that. And that's what they use to sort of explain the time travel in it. All of that stuff is very cartoonish. And as I said, okay, you can use those cartoony faces to explain why it looks like that, because time is stretching and it shouldn't look normal and stuff like that. I'll tell you this: I got the Nicolas Cage one spoiled to me by the director Andy Muschietti, which sucks because that one would have blown my mind if I saw that. Like I wanted that. Like I was just like, ha, Nicolas Cage as Superman. But again, the thing is that it looked like that cartoony. The skin, the face didn't look all real, right? But it would, like, just to know that Superman, the death of Superman or Superman Lives, like that as with Nick Cage, that was a thing that was going to happen. That was awesome. I would have loved to see that. And then I cheered when we saw the blonde Supergirl, Slater, and with Christopher Reeves standing side by side. That hit home for me. And I was like, yes. That was so just, because I like that version of Supergirl. Supergirl, Helen Slater. Let's pull up her. I even like that movie of hers, even though I haven't seen it in a while. It wasn't all that great, but I thought she was a perfect casting for Supergirl. And to see that one, just I was like, ah, wow. And then um, seeing her beside Christopher Reeves there, I was just like, thank you, Andy Muschietti, for trying to give that to us, them side by side. Thank you. Like you would never, I never thought that I would ever see that, and they somehow pulled it off. I'm happy that they did. But you're showing all these other ones, and you couldn't give us the Cavill one, right? That sucked. And then when they were going through all the Batman stuff, I thought, like we heard, I didn't see him, but I heard Adam West. I heard Adam West. Uh, I thought for a split second they might show us Nolan's Christopher Bale's Batman, and maybe it was in the background in one of those round circle things that we just couldn't, we went by so fast we couldn't see, but they didn't really need to see that. That was fine. But yeah, seeing those two, oh my god, that's awesome. I'm gonna save this picture actually. I want to save that picture. Say, oh no, I can't. It's gonna save it as a web file. But that's awesome. I like how they explained Evil Flash too. I thought Evil Flash was just going to be like an alternate evil version Flash. I like how he was created out of going back in time to try to stop his mother over and over and over again. I like that, and to know that the one Barry that he was with, like the younger Barry there that he came into, like that Barry transforms into the Evil Flash. I liked how he was dealing with that stuff. I liked how Michael Keaton's Batman died in that universe. I like how they were like, that's what I meant earlier about them closing off. Like, we're not going to see them again because they can't change that timeline. That's how Michael Keaton Batman dies. Fighting Zod. Cool. Heartbreaking though, right? When he's kind of like telling him, no, don't go back and try to change this. This is my time. Kind of thing, like that got to me right here in the theater. But that's because I grew up with Batman. I like Michael Keaton back in this, and this was a great way for his swan song to end as Batman. I just thought, like, hey, we're not going to be able to see you in the Batgirl movie. That I don't know how they were going to ever explain that, but like, this is our final time seeing Michael Keaton. Thank you. I just felt humbled throughout all of this film. I just was like, thank you for showing us. Thank you for giving us this. I'm very humbled. And then, of course, the final Bruce Wayne that shows up. We couldn't have Val Kilmer. I thought it was cool to see George Clooney. I think I was just like, okay, yeah, that was fun. But imagine if that was Christian Bale that pulled up. Imagine, like, my theater would have just erupted. Like, wow. Imagine if it was him. It was fun. That was George Clooney, though. And Clooney, he's like everything you hear about Clooney. He's a good dude in real life. He's a real mensch, and he would happily come on. Even the fact that he admits himself that Batman and Robin was not that good, that he would come on and do a cameo like that. I just thought that was cool, man. That was cool. All right, guys, that's pretty much all I got to say about this movie. I want to go watch it again. I do want to watch this one again because, well, this week is not going to have a lot of staying power for it, right? Well, the next big release is Indiana Jones 5 at the end of the month. This next week we have Asteroid City, and we have the Jennifer Lawrence raunchy comedy coming out. So Flash and Elemental will hopefully have a week to breathe here, because those are adult films that are coming out this week, right? The raunchy comedy, and Asteroid City is more of kind of like an art house film. So hopefully the Flash and Elemental will have good word of mouth, because when my straight out of the theater reaction for the Flash, I was hyped. I was just like, wow. it had, yeah, I like Transformers had that jaw dropping G.I. Joe moment. Flash has this jaw dropping multiple Nicolas Cage, Christopher Reeve. It was just like, wow, cool, man. And I you know that they've got a script ready for the second movie for the Flash. They do. They said that, but it's got to make enough bank at the box office on a 200 something plus $1 million budget. 139 million worldwide for its opening weekend is not good enough. So hopefully we're like word of mouth will carry this up to maybe 500. Like I was really hoping the Flash would make $1 billion and make James Gunn question should they continue on with this. But this is audiences are saying no, we're done with this. And a lot of it, I think, has to do with the fact that we don't know how it fits in. James Gunn has not done a very good job of explaining how this torch is going to be passed on, or if it's going to be passed on, because it almost feels like it's just going to get cut off, and that's it. He says Blue Beetle's supposed to be part of it, but I'm not going to be shocked if Blue Beetle has nothing to do with the James Gunn DCU. He says that it is. He said that this one was supposed to be a passing of the torch. But it wasn't, at least not in my opinion. Byford also says there, my favorite scene was Aquaman dad Boba Fett marrying Nicole Kidman, but old and made it. Was that Nicole Kidman in fat makeup though? That got a laugh in the theater, in my theater, saying that, didn't you marry a princess from under the water? And then you shows this lady sitting on the couch, this couch potato. Yes, archive footage, Helen Slater. So they're putting up Christopher Reeve archive footage. Yeah, that made me so happy. It did. Adam West archive footage. So they must have shown Adam West. George Reeves Superman, yeah, they showed that too. Let me pull up all the cast and crew, because I don't know if Nicole Kidman was that under the fat makeup, or was that just another actress? Tamoira Morrison, Kirstie Clemens, the Iris West storyline too. Maybe that could have been shortened up a little bit, with her trying to be kind of like a reporter asking about his mother and stuff like that. Security guard. George Clooney uncredited, Nicolas Cage uncredited. Yeah. Gal Gadot, Wonder Woman, yeah. Yeah, I'm not seeing Nicole Kidman there. Who played the mother? Maybe I'm not seeing it. Maybe I'm not reading it properly here. Maybe I missed it. If I did, it's not a huge deal. But yeah, that got a big laugh in the theater. But he's like, who are you kidding? He looks over at the woman sitting on the couch, and it's like, yeah, some serious satisficing going on there. All right, guys, that's it for me, The Flash, my spoiler section as well. We'll talk about the box office breakdown a lot more tomorrow morning on our news show at 11 a.m., guys. We do a movie news show at 11 a.m. Eastern, Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. So come join us for that, and we'll take a look at the box office breakdown. We've been going for like 49 minutes now, so I'm going to cut it off there. I'll see you next time on Mirror Domains. Thank you for joining me in the live chat there, Byford the Hobbit. And I'll cut out both of these reviews and post them up on the channel later on when I put some thumbnails together. And other than that, enjoy the rest of your weekend, guys. You're watching Mirror Domains. Have a nice day.